Welcome to Bothering the Band. My name is Ryan Bynick. With me, as always, is Abigail Ann Levy. We got a very special episode today. If you would to go back in time to the 80s and tell us we have Tiffany, yes, that Tiffany on the podcast, Mall Tiffany. I think we're alone now, Tiffany. I would say you're crazy, but that's who we have on the podcast today. And she's talking food, she's talking charities. It is a very special episode. Ladies and gentlemen, Bothering the Band with Tiffany. Hello.
Hi, sorry. It was taking me forever to connect to you. I think it's because it's windy here today out in the country. And
No worries.
so it was just going around and around and around. I was like, okay, a little more patience, a little more coffee. Hi, how are you?
Oh, doing quite well. We support the copious amounts of coffee. Welcome to Bothering the Band, Tiffany. We're pinching ourselves. We can't even believe you're here. Thank you so much for doing this. Don't know if you know about what we do here, but we ask our favorite musicians really dumb questions. So are you ready?
Love it. Yes.
Well, we always ask first is how are you and where are you?
I am in Nashville and I'm doing great. Life is good. I'm drinking my coffee. Love it. I think I've had 3 cups now. I'm starting to feel like a human. And it's beautiful out here today, but it is starting to get kind of windy, but it's a beautiful fall day.
Oh, lovely. How do you take your coffee?
Black, straight.
Ooh.
That's it. Yeah, no joke.
Badass. I love it. All right, let's so Nashville. We have a lot of people from Nashville. Is that where you live full time?
That's where I live full time. Yeah, I'm an
Very
LA
cool.
girl originally, but I live in Nashville and I've been traveling so much for forever. So it's nice to be home for a little while, have some roots, and just to be able to settle down before we kick it off again.
Oh, that's great. And we have a ton of friends in Nashville. We want to do a live show in Nashville next year. So we might hit you up again and say, come on and
Love
party
it.
with us.
It is the place of live music, of course. So yeah, always something going on in Nashville and definitely love to be a part of it.
Yeah. Our guests are it's like heavy Nashville, LA, and believe it or not, Toronto. Like so
Oh,
many of
cool.
our guests. Yeah. And we just did our 100th episode. So it's like we got a hefty, body count, as we call
Love it. That's a big part.
Okay, in Nashville or wherever, really. When's the last time you went to an actual physical mall?
Oh, about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow, cool. And did
Yeah,
you buy anything?
I sure did. I bought a lot of shoes.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I was there for a charity event that I was hosting, and it was an 80s theme like
Hmm.
party. So there was a bunch of entertainers, and I was hosting for the charity Children's Miracle Network. We were down there. So I had some time and I went to the mall. And it was funny because I heard this lady behind me talking on her cell phone, going, "And what are you going to wear? And oh, in the 80s, we wore this, and I'm getting these shoes, and what, going on." And I just couldn't stop. I had like 5 pairs of shoes laid out. It was a good shoe day, let me tell you. It was like, boom, where are these coming from? And this little tiny town in Texas, I was like, I love it. These shoes are amazing. So I'm having a good day at the mall. And then I asked her, I said, I couldn't like resist. I said, "Oh, are you going to the 80s party?" She goes, "Oh yeah, definitely. Are you going?" I said, "Well, I have to because I'm Tiffany." And she just lost it. Her arms and everything started going, and all the mannequins went down, and the shoes were everywhere. It was fun. And then she came
Oh,
to had a really good time, and now we're Facebook friends. So
oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
I thought it was a
Uh,
wonderful experience. She's pretty cool. But I mean, who would have thought? And that mall was rocking, I have to say. So, yes, I'm a mean shopaholic after the mall tour. That's what it's done to me. I don't plan to have any kind of recovery anytime soon. I'm cool with it. So, yes, I do go into malls and people do like double takes, but then they think, no, there's no way.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm still rocking the malls near to people.
That's fantastic. You're talking to two kids of the 90s. So we love malls. I recently went to the malls, took my daughter to the mall. Um, it's not the same, but I still love it. So this is perfect. Next question. Do you know what bourbon chicken is?
I do know what bourbon chicken is. So, I mean, I haven't made it before, but if it's legit, you mean a foodie
Yeah.
thing? Yes, I do know what food. I'm a foodie. So I don't know
Yeah,
if you
we
know.
know.
So obviously, this is the world. I'm starting to incorporate more alcohol in my food, and very excited about that. But yeah, I'm doing like even baking using some vodka infused things. Um,
Whoa.
baking. So I'm experimenting right now behind the scenes. So yes, I do know what bourbon chicken is.
Oh, excellent. So we're coming over to your house and eating. I was going to ask, what's your favorite thing to cook versus what's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, to eat would be tacos, probably. Street tacos. Love them.
Good
LA girl.
answer. Good
Again.
answer.
Yes. Lots of chili too. Lots of salsa. To cook, it really depends. I mean, I kind of do a little bit of everything. I would say probably a good bolognese.
Ugh.
Love it. Meat sauce. Good meat sauce.
It's like that part of the midday where breakfast was long ago and dinner's long away. So now I'm starving. Thank you very much.
Right now, I'm cooking a congee as we're
Oh,
speaking.
wow.
So, yeah, when I went to Malaysia and Singapore and all the different Indonesia, all these different areas, it became quickly my favorite thing. And so it's for the cookbook that I'm partnering with one of my friends here, Tom Vrim from Nashville, actually, and he's an engineer at Blackbird Studio. So Martina and
Oh,
John
wow.
McBride, and he is also a foodie and started for his own reasons, started bringing his own food into sessions where people loved his food. He's amazing. Then he started to cater for the McBrides. So, he's requested to do both, to be there on the engineering side and to cater your session. So I'm glad to be working and partnering with him for the cookbook. And it's my first one out, really. And my section is international breakfasts. So go around the world with me. And I mean, that was like an early experience for me. I started traveling internationally when I was 15, and, food and music and culture and people and, all of that just made such an impression on me. So this is kind of a celebration of all those years traveling through food, really, and what's inspired me.
Oh, that's incredible. I can't wait to buy the cookbook
Well,
and
thank
really butcher a few recipes in there.
We've made it easy. I mean, you'll love some of Tom's recipes too, because he's straight just down home food, biscuits and gravy and goodness and yummies and, and all of that. And so we actually did some quarantine together. So, we just came up with like, okay, let's do a cookbook. He's done one before and we partnered on this one. And we were just making lots of good food in the kitchen and going live and working on my cooking club, Let's Food with Tiffany, and growing it. So yeah, that's how this all started. So food and music go hand in hand. I'm so excited. Next year is going to really rock. We're going to have lots of different events and all kinds of ways you can be involved in Tiff world.
Those are literally our favorite things, food and music.
Yes.
Did you, we're gonna stay on the food train right now. Did you ever own a George Foreman grill?
I've never, I know I'm not with it. This is not probably good foodie etiquette. So sorry, I'm going to get with it. No, people have said before they're going to buy me one, especially for the road, and then they never do. So I'm still waiting it out. It's not very often, truthfully, I get to cook in my own kitchen because I
Yeah.
do mostly, I'm a live touring artist. And so, I cook in Airbnbs and people's homes, my friends. I stop along the way and do my cooking club Zooms and cooking classes, and that's kind of how we've been rolling with Let's Food for a minute. But it is nice. I'm home for a while right now, cooking in my own kitchen, making up new recipes, and I think that's probably where I get to create the most. But it's not often that I actually, so, I am reworking my kitchen. So I think there's room for a nice Foreman grill there, George Foreman grill. So I'll have to put the word out.
I feel like you're such a foodie and professional almost that you can probably skip the foreman. It's for like college idiots like me, 20 years
On
ago.
the road,
That's
it
what
would
it's
be
for.
perfect. I really
Yeah.
do. Because I take a hot plate on the road. We have a little mini barbecue, and it's all in my like trailer, my trailer, on my side of the trailer. There's the band equipment side and all their stuff, and then there's my little side, and I put the food stuff in there as well as like performance clothes and stuff, all my
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah. But I never know with really like the cooking club. There's been times where it's like, oh, I've got the Zoom, scheduled, and we're still traveling. And when we get to the venue, it's going to be the band and loading, and they're
Yeah.
not going to catering here at all for the next 3 hours. But for the time zone and my cooking club, because it is international, I've got them, people, I've got my friends and family and my peeps, my cooking peeps, they are all over. So usually I try to set a time that makes sense. And there's just times that we pull out the hot plate. I'll stop at the grocery store and I'm like, okay, we are making, this, and that, whatever I can make on a hot plate. So it's kind of funny. The cooking club has its own little life. It really is the good, the bad, the ugly in my personal world, cooking behind the scenes, my house, all of that stuff. So I'm always like, join the cooking club. You get a lot more experience with Tiffany. Because we're just learning. We're having a great time though. And it's great to see the community actually, again, my cooking club cooking and trying things and different spices and different, international, different cultures and just all of it, like more open-minded. It's amazing.
Well, we appreciate it because this is exactly why we ask silly, like off the wall questions, because we feel like as fans, just diehard music fans, we want to know our favorites on like such a personal level. And we feel like, that hot plate hits home for us and our listeners.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to make it work. I've barbecued on the side of the road, but I mean, I've done like renegade, I guess, cooking, if you will. I did. I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here in
Mhm.
Australia. Well, it was the Australian show, but they shoot in South Africa. And of course, you see a little bit on the show, but somehow I ended up to be the cook for all of it. And people are really hungry. We're like surviving on 800 calories a day. And you've got these guys that are, boxers and professional athletes, and they're starving. And then they've went out and done some really like shitty challenge to bring in some ostrich or something. And it was pretty diehard. And all you do is cook on an open flame, your campfire. And
Yeah.
not easy. I mean, you can burn stuff and you're like moving around and you're literally moving around and moving those pots around. And so I got quite an education on campfire cooking when I did the show. I was there for 19 days cooking for everybody until I went home. So it was quite an education. So that was me a growth spurt in my cooking. But I do like barbecuing. I do like cooking for the band on our Airbnb time, and that's all in the cooking club. You get to meet the band more and hang out and see how silly they are, and that they do like my cooking, and that we're very family, and all the kind of cool stuff that goes on the road behind the scenes.
That's splendid. After that well said, almost heartfelt description of your love of cooking for any and everyone. This is a real dumb question. Do you dip your French fries in ranch?
Oh, absolutely not.
What?
I don't like ranch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to let people down. I'm not a big fan of ranch. I grew up not really responding to dairy when I was a little girl, but
Oh.
I grew out of it, so I have no excuses. And I do use dairy here and there, but it's just not my favorite. Like my niece would
Mhm.
say, not my favorite. So no, I don't dip my fries in anything really.
No ketchup?
I
Wow.
put salt and pepper and vinegar on fries,
Oh, you were just in England.
on
Yeah.
chips. And if you really want to make them even better, you can chop up some parsley, fresh parsley, or even dried, sprinkle a little bit on there. I like garlic fries. I
Oh,
like all that. That's what I like, gravy on my fries. So no dipping, more saturating. If
fair
it's
enough.
gravy.
Okay, switching gears and playing off your recent song. If it's raining, are you carrying an umbrella or are you rocking a raincoat?
I'm rocking a raincoat.
Oh, okay. Are you going
There's
yellow?
it could be. They
Okay.
could be sexy. Mostly black, probably black more than anything. But yes, we'll go for yellow. It's very cheerful.
Love it. Raincoats are so much more practical, in my opinion, than an umbrella. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
Umbrella is just like you end up getting wet anyway, and then it's hanging out of the car, and then it's wet in the car. It's like, you know what? Just keep the jacket on, work it. It's a little wet for a minute, but have something that you want to wear that's cool.
Yeah,
Keep the
100%.
hair dry. Most important.
Okay, where's the weirdest place you've ever heard your own music
Oh
being played?
God. Oh, what? Um, mm, the weirdest place I've ever heard my music. Well, I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard it in a weird place.
Or just
Uh,
somewhere unexpected, maybe like I'm trying to think
well,
like
obviously, I mean, it's happened before, like, when you're just perfect example when I'm out, like, I'm in the middle of cleaning house, my hair's in a ponytail, and I'm like, oh, okay, no lipstick, no nothing, just, your little jogging pants, and we're going to go out and get comment or whatever and finish what we've got to do today in our laundry. So glamorous. And you run down to your local store and you're, look like a fright. And then of course your song comes on. That happens often. Whenever I'm like the bomb, I've had hair and makeup, and I'm like, yeah. I just walk into places and they're like, oh, wow, look at her. Because I live in a very small town.
mhm.
So then it's more like, oh, lady of the night. I'm like, no, I'm Tiffany and the song needs to come on now. Like all of it would be a grand entrance. But no, it's usually when I'm like, like I said, looking a fright. And then people go, oh my God, you're Tiffany. I go, oh, thanks. I've always looked like this. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I'm confused. So, but yeah, it's just, that's happened. That happens quite a bit. So now I try to zhuzh up for like Walmarts and things, dollar stores.
Zhuzhing up for
They're
Walmart.
not
I love it.
day out. Exactly. They're not a run in kind of concept.
Yeah, I get it. I have to say, since we're on music, that I love the song "Beautiful" from Pieces of Me.
Thank you.
That song just hits. There's no question about it. I just wanted to say that.
Well,
Uh,
I energy of that song. It's a lot of fun. I like the video of that song. We were shot it in Brighton in the UK, and yeah, it's a fun. We were having a listening party last night for Shadows.
oh,
Just
okay.
house, just kind of getting ready. We're in creative mode for the new videos because the first single came out, I Like the Rain,
Hmm.
and did a lyric video for that. And then now everything is going to be shot here at the house. So we're getting ready and working with the videographer and all the wardrobe and stylist and all this stuff. And last night we were just going through the next single and the next single and just having like a little personal listening party. And I'm so excited about this album because it really is like, some fun, upbeat songs, kind of wink to 80s, modern production, rock and roll, punk, Tiffany. And then you've got these heartfelt ballads. So yeah, there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes right now in Shadow's world. But it's been great. And thank you for your time today for getting the message out for the new album for sure.
Of course, we love it. Like you said, it's a little bit more rock and roll. So I was gonna ask, what's your favorite like metal or hard punk band?
Oh, well, the Sex Pistols
Oh,
definitely are my favorite
nice.
band. Pretty Vacant is pretty cool. It's like my song. And I tortured my son with that song actually for his private school when I had to take him in the morning. I was not a morning person at the time. So he had either Eric B and Rock King, Pump Up the Volume, or Pretty Vacant my Sex Pistols with my coffee, holding on for dear life. I just had to make it across, like around the block across the street. But I was like, Elijah, please, we need this. And so I just blasted. I don't think he likes this song.
That's
So,
amazing.
but yeah, I mean, that was always my favorite punk band. And then of course, I mean, so many 80s bands and metal bands. And that was kind of, you didn't know that that's what I was rocking to in high school. And I think people did, though. I mean, when I was asked a lot, I mean, it was AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and Ozzy Osbourne and, and of course, Eddie Van Halen was all over my wall, of course.
I want to go back in time and see the posters.
I have pictures of my wall, my bedroom. I was so proud of it. I used to remember, I mean, you used to have the cameras that you have to wind, but I was a
Yeah.
big picture taker. I loved it. So I took pictures, of course, my wall. So I have them actually in my scrapbooks and my family books. And my mom was a big person about taking pictures as well. So it's kind of cool that we do have all of that from my childhood and my early career and everything. At first I was just like, why are you keeping everything? But it's kind of cool to look back. And when I started at 9 and started singing in country music, especially with people like Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis and
Yeah.
George Jones and, on and on and on. These people that I opened up for when I was only 9 years old in country music and got to meet them and then opened up a couple of times. So then you kind of feel like you know them, but you don't. I was 9. So, I mean, but my parents, got to know their road managers and they all gave me advice to keep going with my career and to come to Nashville. And so they're very instrumental in the beginning of Tiffany. People just don't know that.
Well, now they do, and they're
Now they do.
lucky.
Yeah, I was really lucky. I had great musicians around me from the very beginning. And, and it really probably just taught me to, again, keep going, live your life, love your music. You are who you are. Because they were living their life through music. It wasn't like a persona that they turned on.
Yeah.
It was the whole thing. So, and one of my favorites is Johnny Cash, of course. So I cater to being, influenced by people who live out loud. They just kind of live it and it is what it is. And through that, they grow and they become interesting people and do good music. Because, writing Shadows for me as a songwriter, I'm writing about my life. I always say it's my therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is, but but I mean, this album again I think we've dug deep and it's going to be something that people didn't really expect, but this is just the beginning step. So thank you again for having me on today for sure. And all your time and following Let's Food with Tiffany and talking about food. Cause I mean, again, I'm so excited about planning so many new events with food and music next year. That we're just going to really, the TIFF brand is going to grow. And we've got lots of cool concerts planned, of course, with more production and, just really cool stuff. So,
That's
and I've
incredible.
enjoyed talking about like the 80s and all of that and whipping that back, because again, there's something so infectious about being part of that time period to some degree. I can't really put my finger on it, but that's what with a lot of the charity events we're doing, with the music and even food, that we keep them 80s themed because they're really fun. So I know, everybody's listening. If you can go to Tiffany Tunes and check out our charity events and come and support for Children's Miracle Network, because I got to get my people in there mentioned. It's definitely something I've been doing for 9 years now. And it's just the families, the kiddos, the staff, everybody, they're so awesome. So I just got to mention them a little bit. And
Of
again,
course.
can't like, Shadows experiences, we're going to be doing a lot of meet and greets again for the charity through the music. So stay tuned for all that.
No, you read my mind. We were getting there anyways, but there you go. Tiffany, we can't thank you enough for doing our silly little podcast.
Oh, I love it. I know I'm sitting here. This is what I'm doing today. And so I'm sitting here with the Team TIFF staff and they're giving me many, cups of coffee, thank God. And then
Black
of course,
coffee.
so yes, they are, saying, come on, wrap it up. But I wanted to mention definitely charity and thank you for your time today. And thank you guys that are listening, tiffanytunes.com, everybody, and come, be a part of TIFF World.
You got it. Thank you so much, everyone. TiffanyTunes.com. And it is Let's Food with Tiffany also on Instagram. We like that one. Again, I'm starving right now. This is this has been a dream come true, bothering the band with the one and only Tiffany. Tiffany, thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you. Talk soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.